We only know the word
engineering.
Engineers.
engineering.
The draftsman. باش مهندسة.
Create logos.
Anyone who can choose a color for his wall or helps put a plan together by telling the architect what he wants, he would think that he's an architect.
And then you see the output, it's disastrous, but you know, at the end the owner is proud of it.
احنا ما عندنا the role of critique, يعني, which is unfortunate. It's always associated with, you know, it being negative or it being unfortunately personal.
One of the misconceptions that all designers are good designers. No, there are good architects, there are excellent architects, there are excellent designers, good designers, and there are bad designers, you know.
When you say Al-Khat Al-Arabi, they think it's just calligraphy, and they are just merging calligraphy and typography. It's not. The terms are different in English, and we do not have those important terms in Arabic to differentiate between this and that.
We took the example of Egypt, and Egypt, they have two schools of architecture. One is part of the School of Engineering, and you graduate as an architectural engineer. And one is part of the School of Fine Arts, and you graduate as an architect. They didn't look at the curriculum of these two schools specifically to see the fact that they are the exact curriculum. The only difference is your electives. Here you take electives arts, here you take electives more technical.
You know, now we are, living in concrete jungles.
When my daughter was 5 years old, and she asked me, Mama, why are we in a war zone? She thought Hawali was a war zone, and still Kuwait is constantly in flux, in construction, still.
Since we don't have laws and rules and regulations to talk about horizontal expressions on the wall, if all of us appreciate that, we would start inventing new ways of doing this horizontal expression because it's a law.
If you go to Oman, one tiny change, just using white or off-white colors, amazing place.
I think bending a law is more successful than just ignoring it.
We lost our sense of identity. We don't have any architectural identity. Everybody is designing something different.
So we don't have the history. We don't have the education.
Let's start from the universities here. They do not teach Arabic typography. They teach English. They teach Latin typography.
بس إذا أنا بس Western, I think اللي قاعد يصير أنا قاعد تطلع وايد أعمال شكلها Western, لكن it's not, it's for Kuwait.
Kuwaitis and the end users, they're used to the same components in buildings, the same components in design.
It all goes back to design education.
They were not educated enough, from a design point of view, not from an education point of view. What is a good design?
There is this gap where cultural identity isn't anywhere to be found in the education, the design education.
We need to improve our education in general, starting from kindergarten, because that's most of the structure of a human being begins.
Anything that's related to the region is either taught في اللغة العربية, قواعد, نحو, تعبير, والتعبير يكون عن the topics, رحلة إلى النزهة ولا whatever. ما قاعد يطلع برا القالب مال إنه يعني it is really rich. الأستاتيكس مال Islamic مثلا architecture, lifestyle مال الناس, Arabic type in its different forms, calligraphy. It's يعني we're really missing. ما تعلمنا, ما تدرس هالشيء.
If you do not put that in them, if they do not value research and the importance of research, to me, I think research is 75% and the rest is practice.
Students from a very early age learned to just numb themselves when it comes to education and just go with the flow. You need to tap into their core, give it a jolt of support, and they will fly. I think openness is key, and I think we should merge the private and the public sector.
The benefit would be more communal. And I think that's where the problem is. You may not benefit yourself. And it takes a specific type of character to say, I'm going to do all this work for the good of the world.
If you have your goal is beyond yourself, you would want to work collectively. So I think if we put Kuwait first, or let's see the environment or the world, we could work together easily.
To be competitive isn't a bad thing, you know, بالعكس. I think, you know, when you're working in a field and there's competition, it's really, يعني, it helps المفروض الfield to get somewhere. And then making peace with these obstacles to be able to move. Every discipline فيها obstacles.
I think this is how artists strive, and it's by the challenge and the, you know, the oomph of it.
The product needs to be needs to allow that collaboration.
It would be nice to engage the community and the design collective in what is a suitable architecture for co-ops in Kuwait. And these kind of things should be almost like a kit of parts.
If everyone in their own collaboration thought of use, being environmentally aware,
How they should look like, what do we need?
wheelchair accessible,
Physically, which jam'iyya works?
perhaps for kids,
Looking at the projects from the graduate students in the architecture department, learning from what they're doing, or مثل شراكات, موجود شراكات.
if we start inserting this, these ideas into the minds of all the designers, we're going to end up with products that work together.
But more of that, definitely. And there's no, and I think people are open.
When I first graduated, the first thing we wanted, we want to avoid the government sector. We don't want to be in the government sector, you know. We don't want anything that cramps down our style or whatever. We want to be free. We want to be creative and create and do that.
You have teachers, you have police members that are running for municipal council. So you have non-designers and non-experts are shaping the, shaping our urban policies.
I would rather have young, creative minds go into the government sector, because this is the only way we can actually start doing change.
Municipal council should be by architects, engineers, visionaries, designers.
We had a symposium a few months ago, and we didn't have enough audience for the symposium, although it was really big. But still, you have to try hard. So we cannot just say, okay, they did not attend the symposium, it's not their cup of tea, khalas, we're not going to do it again. No, we have to do it once and twice and 3 times and 4 times. We have to always do it. They have to understand that this is what changes the society, this is what changes the mentality of a community. And we have to become better. And we cannot become better if we're only doing that kind of social media stuff that is happening right now.
Not allocating the student to an office, allocating to the student to a mentor. Someone who's willing to give, someone who has patience, and to train this young architect even before they graduate.
At the end, you know, their creativity and their diligence and their work ethic is going to take them to wherever they go.
Our culture, unfortunately, encourages you to give the right answer right away, and this is what we don't want. We want to produce thinkers that are constantly thinking and rethinking and being involved in a dialogue where you're saying things that are half-cooked. But let's talk about it. There's nothing wrong with saying something that's not ready to be published, let's say, but let's talk it through. Let's work together collaboratively to change our future. And I think that's where designers, architects could become a tool for social and economic change by the fact that we are design thinkers. We're constantly producing and thinking and knowing and unknowing, you know, there's no answer.